Hello, everybody. I'm sorry. I was on mute. My name is In My Opinion. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm doing this on Korean Richie. It's a story about this lady who allegedly killed her husband. So we're going to talk about it. Um, Court documents reveal secret life insurance policy, stolen money, and continuous court battles, and hiring a private investigator to dig into the death of a Utah man whose wife allegedly poisoned him with a spiked drink. The wife, Korean Richie, was arrested and charged with killing Eric Richie last year during a quiet celebration in their home in Kansas, Utah, about 45 miles southeast of Salt Lake City. Now, why all the crazy people in Salt Lake City? But let's keep going. After she closed on her home for her business, according to authorities, a medical examiner said he had 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in his system at the time of his death on March the 4th, 2022. Eric Richins had suspected his wife had tried to poison him multiple times and warned his family that she was to blame if anything happened to him, according to the affidavits for the search warrant obtained by the Summit County Sheriff Office. A family spokesperson said he stayed in the marriage because of their 3 children. As Richards prepares for a detention hearing next month, here are some key dates in these investigations. Between 2015 and 2017, Richie is accused of purchasing at least 4 life insurance policies on her husband, totaling nearly $2 million, according to the amended court documents filed on May 18th that led to the postponement of her detention hearing originally scheduled for May 19th. Eric Richards did not know about these policies, the document stated. In September of 2020, Eric Richards discovered that his wife had allegedly obtained and spent $250,000 on home equity line of credit on their home in Camas, had withdrew $100,000 from their bank account and spent more than $30,000 using his credit cards, according to the being court documents. It also alleged that Richards was appropriating distribution made from Richie's business for the purpose of making federal and state quarterly tax payments and not paying the taxes. The stolen tax payments totaled at least 134,346, according to the filing. He confronted her about the money and she agreed to pay him back, the court document stated. In October of 2020, Eric Richardson consulted both a divorce lawyer and an estate planning lawyer. Unbeknownst to him, his wife, he changed his will, formed a living trust, and placed his estate under the control of his sister, Katie Richins Benson. According to the amended documents, he also transferred his partnership interest in his business to the trust and designated the trust as a beneficiary of his $500,000 life insurance policy, the document stated. January the 1st, 2022, Eric Richardson and his business partner had $2 million life insurance policies that listed each other as the beneficiary, but prosecutors alleged that on January the 1st, Richards changed the policy to list herself as the beneficiary, according to the amended court documents. Her husband was alerted to the change and put the business partner back as the beneficiary on the document stated. Later in the month, she allegedly caused an application to be filed for a new $100,000 life insurance policy on Eric Richards' life, according to the document. February the 12th, 2022. In earlier 2022, Richards either called or texted an acquaintance named CL and asked for fentanyl, the document stated. Data from Richardson's phone shows she contacted CI several times in January 2022, but authorities weren't able to determine the contents of their messages because she allegedly deleted data from her phone from January the 2nd, 2022 to shortly after Eric Richardson's death. C. CL told authorities that she obtained the fentanyl pills and gave them to Richards in his hand-to-hand transaction on either February the 11th or February the 12th, according to the documents. On February the 14th, 2022, a Valentine's Day meal turned into a nightmare when Eric Richardson broke out into hives and had difficulty breathing after eating a sandwich his wife had made for him, the document stated. Prosecutors alleged that in the documents that Richards made her husband a sandwich and placed it in a seat of his truck with a love note. But after eating it, her husband became ill and needed to use their son EpiPen. The document stated that Eric Richards believed that he had been poisoned and told a friend that he thought his wife was trying to poison him. Late February 2022, allegedly contacted CL and said that fentanyl pills were not strong enough and asked that she procure some stronger fentanyl. The document stated that CL told authorities that Richards asked for some Michael Jackson stuff during this request for fentanyl, but subsequently concluded that the defendant may have made the Michael Jackson reference during her first request for fentanyl. According to the documents, the pop star died in 2009 in a Los Angeles home after he received a lethal dose of propofol. CL again obtained pills for Richards, according to the documents. On March 3rd, 2022, Richards allegedly owed more than $1 million at the time of her husband's death. Prosecutors said in documents the day before her husband died, prosecutors said she talked to a moneylender to whom she owed at least 1.8 million and had a lengthy telephone call with the IRS. The documents allege that she had outstanding state and federal tax liabilities totaling $189,840 and also owed her husband at least $514,346. On March the 4th, 2022, Eric Richardson died after he was found unresponsive in a bedroom of their home in Kamar after having a drink to celebrate his wife's business deal. He had 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in his system, according to the medical examiner, who said it was illicit fentanyl and not medical grade. It is also believed that he ingested the drugs orally, according to the medical examiner. Details about that night differ in a search warrant affidavit and probable cause statement. Richards told authorities that she and her husband were celebrating her closing on a house for her business. According to the statement, she said she made her husband a Moscow mule in the kitchen and brought it to the bedroom where they drank it while sitting in the bed. Prosecutors have said she slipped 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl into the cocktail. The affidavit, however, stated that Eric Richards had 1 shot of alcohol and a THC gummy. Richards told authorities that she fell asleep in one of the children's rooms, and when she woke up and went to her bedroom, her husband was cold to the touch. Both documents stated that the affidavit said Richards supposedly attempted CPR on her husband, but when the medical and fire personnel arrived, they said that it did not appear as if she had done CPR due to the large amount of blood that had came from Eric's mouth. She also told authorities that she had left her phone plugged up in the bedroom. However, investigators found They had been locked and unlocked several times and showed movement before 911 being called. The statement said the couple were married for 9 years at the time of Eric Richins' death. According to online obituary, they had three sons. On March the 6th, 2022, days after her husband's death, Richins allegedly had a locksmith drill into her husband's safe, which contained between 125,000 and 165,000 in cash, according to the amended court documents. When Eric Richins' sister, Katie Richins Benson, told Richins to leave the safe alone, prosecutors alleged in a filing that Richins became angry and punched Richins Benson in the face and neck. Sheriff deputies responded and called the attorney of Eric Richardson's estate. Richardson was informed that her husband had created a living trust. On March the 9th, 2022, Richards allegedly wrote a backdated check for $1,300 to obtain fentanyl pills from CL. Prosecutors said in the document that CL told authorities that on either March the 9th or March the 10th, she left pills in the fire pit of the backyard of the home by Richards, the document stated. Richards Benson hired a private investigator to surveil and follow Richards, according to the court document. Richardson a filed to remove her sister-in-law as trustee of Eric Richardson Trust. Richards and her sister-in-law have been in a legal battle over the trust and estate ever since Eric's death. This is so sad. Richards said in documents that the private investigator would park outside her home to watch and surveil her and would question her neighbors about her and her husband. A spokesperson for Eric Richardson family told NBC News that the private investigator was hired to look into the death. The private investigator declined to speak on the case. On March the 7th, a year after her husband's death, Richards published a book titled Are You With Me? And dedicated it to my amazing husband and wonderful father. An Amazon description of the book said it was written to create peace and comfort for the children who have lost a loved one. In the 41-page book, a boy questions whether his father is with him when he is sad or mad, or whether he is with him for special occasions. The father reassures the boy that he is there for all those special moments. The book is no longer available on Amazon. On April the 6th, Richards, in an interview with KTVX TV on Salt Lake City, discussed her book and her husband's death, which she said happened unexpectedly. It took us all by shock. My kids and I kind of wrote the book on a different emotions of grieving process that we experienced last year, hoping that it could kind of help others kids deal with this and find happiness some way or another. She went on to talk about how she would tell her children that their dad is still there, just in a different way. Richard said she wrote the book after she saw her children struggling with their father's death. The station later updated its story to say it had not been aware that she was suspected in her husband's death. On May 8th, Richardson was arrested, charged. On, On May the 8th, Richards was arrested on charges of aggravated murder and 3 counts of possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. She has entered a plea and is due in court on June the 12th. A new date for the detention hearing. Her attorney has not commented on the allegation. This is a sad story. I mean, super sad that these kids have lost it. And then, to make matters worse, it was a story that just came out a few hours later that says Defense attorney representing mother charged with the murder of her husband has filed a motion to set conditions for her release ahead of detention hearing scheduled on Monday. But Summit County prosecutors argue Kouri Richins should be held without bail until her trial. The documents filed in Third District Court on Friday provide new insight into what 33-year-old legal defense may be and address allegations raised in the Summit County Attorney's Office in its filings. Korean legal team led by Sky Lorenz argued against what prosecutors said was a financial motive to kill her spouse, Eric Richins. The filing on Friday stated Kouri shared several joint accounts with her husband, discussed a strained relationship between Eric and his business partner, and characterized Eric as someone who was a partier and loved to have a good time. The court filings also provided details about the vacation to Greece in 2019 and a Valentine's Day meal in 2022. Both times, Eric became ill after consuming food or drinks. While prosecutors have alleged these may have been multiple times Korean had poisoned Eric, the defense notes contradictory statements from the witnesses who were present at the time. Korean defense noted several other inconspicuous with the allegations made by prosecutors. Witness account statements they had never seen Eric and Korean happier, and that Eric made jokes about being allergic to allergy medication. In defense, said that on February the 20th, outing the couple and friends, Korean told deputies that the Summit County Sheriff's Office that he had recently received an allergy shot when they were dispatched to the couple's home on March the 4th. The filing states law enforcement demanded a key witness who allegedly provided the defendant with fentanyl and worked on for her at one point as a housekeeper, provides details that will ensure Korean gets convicted of murder. The defense argued Korean is not a flight risk and is eligible for bail because the prosecutor lacked a subsequent evidence to support the charges. The county attorney's office, meanwhile, affirms it can support the felony charge of aggravated murder. Prosecutors referred to the fentanyl that was discovered in Eric's body, determining that he died after ingesting 5 times the lethal amount, and the statement made by Korean that affirmed Eric did not use illicit drugs apart from THC gummies. They also used bank records, life insurance filings, and more to allege that Kouri murdered Eric Richardson for a perpetuity gain, which means money. The search where cops forced you to do a lie detector test. Women Utah prison. What are you allowed inside Utah jails? If someone is poisoned, what does it go? What does it go down on the death certificate as? Can the FBI find deleted messages? When does the FBI get involved in the case? How long does life insurance companies take to pay out? These were the searches that she did on her computer. As a defendant charged with aggravated murder, the defendant presented the most extreme danger to the community possible. Poisoning is a disturbing calculated murder method, and money is ever present murder motive. But there is more. Chilling. After murdering Eric Richardson with an illicit fentanyl, the defendant obtained additional stronger efficient fentanyl, the document stated. The document indicated prosecutors was unaware of where the fentanyl is and if it may be used again. Prosecutors said They have a recording from the Summit County Jail in which the defendant's mother allegedly said Corrine is only a danger to one of Eric's sisters, who is also the trustee. Corrine responded, "Yeah, ha ha," according to documents. Another of Eric's sisters has been designated as a victim representative. She has requested to be at the hearing on Monday, at the detention hearing, which is scheduled for 9 a.m. on Monday in Judge Richard Mizaki's courtroom. This is such a sad story. Um, I'm going to keep following this case because I can't believe, well, in these times, it's hard not to believe anything, but this is a really sad story. I feel sorry for those three kids. They're sitting there, they lost their dad, and now they're about to lose their mom too because the mom uh, decided she wanted off her husband instead of divorcing him and, possibly moving on. You tell me what you think in the description. I mean, in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. If you heard of this story, if you're following this story, um, when these new details come out on Monday, I'm gonna keep you posted. Um, Such a sad story. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll talk to you later. Stay blessed, stay healthy, stay loved, stay positive. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.